Welcome back to Benny's Custom Works, proudly supported by Sparesbox and Valvoline. Today it's day 2 on the old IS200. I have done a few things off camera just to try and keep the progress rolling. We've now got a transmission crossmember installed. So the first thing I want to do today is measure up the tail shaft. So we've got our tail shaft build sheet from Daniel's Engineering. So let's go up and start measuring. We've just removed the rubber factory donut coupling from the back of our T56 transmission. We are going to be running one of these Malex Engineering 1350 uni adapters. This thing's really cool because not only does it allow you to run a 1350 uni, but it also gives you a tone wheel to run a speed sensor off. The T56 transmission doesn't actually have a speed sensor, so by adding this, you obviously can get the upgraded uni, but also get a VSS back. Straight off the back of that, we're going to be measuring from our flange to flange because the tail shaft build sheet doesn't actually mention measuring flange installation heights or anything like that. So we're just going to do a basic flange to flange measurement, and then we'll be actually sending this along with another flange I've also got to the tail shaft builder so they can assemble a shaft for us. So we've moved on from the tail shaft and I've started to have a look at the e-throttle that we're going to fit. This is a Toyota 86 or a Subaru BRZ right-hand drive e-throttle pedal. We've used these in quite a lot of conversions before, including the Cresta. Having a quick look at it, it's not bad, but it's not perfect. The mounting position is going to actually mean quite a complex bracket to mount this. And looking at the factory IS200 pedal, it looks fairly similar to a lot of Nissan pedals I've seen. So I'm actually going to have a look at late Nissans, probably a 350Z or a 370Z. I'll jump online and have a quick squiz about what's available. From memory, Nissan uses this vertical 2-bolt style mount as well. So if I can find something that's a lot closer to start with rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, obviously that's going to save some time. We buy these BRZ pedals or 86 pedals a lot. And we use them in everything, so if we don't use this today, we'll just put it on the shelf and save it for something later. It's like the most hardcore mount ever. I know your games, Lexus. Oh, these trims aren't going to survive this. Sorry, internet. Give it one thing, these trims are pretty flexible. Oh yes, I see now. That was a lot easier than the first one. There's some hectic junk in this car. More Macca's chips, shit yeah. $1.20 and a lid. Oh, what is that? That's a cruiser lid. Don't ask me how I know that. It's hectic that the sound deadening's molded to the floor. Be gone. Like I don't know if this is actually going to make it come out. I bet you the metal just falls off. It's just clipped on after all that. Oh, money. Oh look, there's 10 grand. Oh wait, it's 10 cents. Hang on, there's more. Oh, another $1. Oh, another $1. No, another $3. Here I was thinking it'd all just lift out and there's like one sticky bit. Wait. Rip. Nailed it. Turked up. TAFE pen. Hunter Institute. Never went there. Oh, wire on this one too. Don't do me like that, Lexus. I'll put it in my keep pile just for you. Oh, I need one of those for my IS200. By the time you see this, it's already gone to the tip. Something about ripping a car apart where you just don't give a anymore. Oh, I needed that headliner for my mum's sunroof IS200. Oh, what? I wonder if that's the radio aerial. Oh, well, it's now. Fixed it. Whoops. I guess there's no interior light anymore. Have I ever mentioned I don't like sunroofs? It's like peeling skin. The ultimate irony is if you do it too hard, your skin peels. Be free. I feel like there's about to be a big paper clip that pops up and it goes, it looks like you're trying to reroute a wiring harness. Let me help you. I win, except I don't because I hate wiring. And it's only really just starting. I thought it's about time I addressed a few things. Obviously you've just seen me rip the whole wiring harness out of the engine bay in the front half of the car, primarily because we're going to actually break that down and remove any unnecessary wiring. The side effect of that was we had to move things like the ABS unit and these brake hard lines. Now I know the comments section is going to be lit with, you can't ban hard lines, blah, 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 things like that. Well, the news is we're actually getting rid of all that as well. So because we're going to a hydraulic handbrake setup, and that ABS unit's actually long been deactivated anyway, just by unplugging the fuse and whatnot. So it's more or less just been a paperweight. So all that stuff's going to get removed. We're actually going to reroute the brake lines so that there'll be a T-piece more or less at the master cylinder, and we'll only actually have one rear brake line going into the cabin to the handbrake, then that'll go to the rear of the vehicle, then it'll go back down and join both rear brake lines together with another T-piece. Also, there'll be another T-piece next to the master for the front line so that we can tee both of those off the front outlet on the master. So basically we can run front and rear brakes, no worries. And we are also going to be putting a proportioning valve in line with the brake system as well. So I've got a stack of brake hardware on order as well, so I'm hoping that'll be here for the next episode, because the plan next episode is to more or less rip the motor and box out, weld everything up and do the brake lines. Unless our exhaust manifold kit turns up first, then if that happens, we'll be doing exhaust manifolds and then all the brake system. So we'll keep chipping away. I think I'm actually going to start cutting this thing up and get to the point of no return, and hopefully Dave will bail me out when I stuff it all up. Do we start with the easy bit or the hard bit? Jokes, it's all hard. I feel like I'm bloody shelling lobsters. Weird flex, but okay. Run a knife down its back and feast on its juices. This whole relay box can just f off. Side cutter! Here I was thinking a soft shell crab was an animal with a soft shell, and I'm like, that's a shit crab.
Yeah, right.
But a soft shell crab is actually a crab who has shed its shell and is still in the stages of like rehardening. Yeah, and they kill them at that exact time. I'm like, imagine if it's your job to wait for a crab to molt.
Oh,
how boring would your job be? What are you? I'm a crab molter. Yeah, sounds great. How do I join this cult? Yeah, see, I was kind of like, I wonder if they put in some sort of like bleach or chemical.
You're
like,
shit crap.
I'll just put it in phosphate. Well, we've made a lot of progress in a lot of different areas today. There's been lots of little stuff going on. We're also waiting on parts again. So I've decided to pretty much get the tail shaft measured, because that's going to be something that's not going to be done overnight. And then I've, off the back of that, started to tackle the wiring. This was the front chassis loom, and it's also got part of the ECU loom in there as well. So some of these connectors would have gone to the ECU. Actually, they're the wrong ones. Some of those connectors would have gone to the ECU. And then the other ECU connectors actually stayed on the engine harness. So I basically stripped the whole thing back and started picking out everything we don't need, like all the climate control sensors, the ABS sensors, the whole ABS unit that was in the bay, the ABS controller that was also under the dash. We've removed all the plugs for that were over there. So we've slowly removed a heap of wiring. I'd say we're gonna cut this thing down to less than half of what it was. I have left in the fuse and relay panel, I've left some fuse powers and some relays that we can potentially repurpose for fans or whatever down the track. I did completely remove what was the original fan fuse box and relay box purely because we just don't need it. There's like 5 different relays mostly for the aircon type of stuff. So all that's gone in the bin, and I believe the Haltech fuse box does actually have a fan relay also in that, as well as a fuel pump relay. So that one that did end up in the bin was fuel pump and fan relays. So trying to just neaten the bay and minimise stuff to have issues with. Obviously the Haltech stuff's all brand new, so there's no point trying to use second-hand relays when we have new stuff at our disposal. But equally, it's also handy that we do have provision in the OEM stuff now to repurpose some of that. And like I said, that's why I've left the tails out. I haven't depinned it or re-terminated it. So we've got plenty of options to customize the OEM setup for the LS and all of the stuff we're going to add. The rear diff pump, I'll probably use potentially one of the relays in this box that we're not currently using. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff that we're going to make work together, and Dave's actually going to help us out with that when we start to tackle the wiring. I'm kind of okay with this deal because I know what I can cut up and what I can't, but some of the stuff that we're going to be doing with the Haltech side of it, it's a little bit out of my depth. But every time I work with Dave, I try and ask some questions and learn a bit more every time. So yeah, we're slowly chipping away and trying to build some knowledge. Thank you to everyone who's been watching the series. We really appreciate it. Thank you to all our Patreons for supporting the channel. Thank you to everyone who's buying merch. Hoodies have pretty much sold out. We've had a pre-order going for a while on them, so thank you to everyone for their support. Thanks to Sparesbox as always. Thanks to Valvoline. Thank you to ACM again for our driveline. It's gone in really well. Thank you to Malex Motorsports. Those guys have provided some stuff for us too. The shift that I mentioned, and also this sucker here. Really nice Australian-made product. All their stuff's made in Australia, so try and support the Aussie guys. So we'll keep chipping away. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.